talk a little bit about what the effect of the current administration has been on travel, in your view, because that has been the downturn from, I think, for the U.S. and it's something the U.S. travel industry, the U.S. Travel Industry Association has been really worried about and has formed a coalition already to try to bring that travel back. And a lot of us here are focused on outbound tourism, so we're not quite as, although, obviously we want to be traveling in the U.S. as well. But what do you think, and I'll bring this open, what has been the effect of the current administration on travel?
I think, without a doubt, dampening of that demand. Just to go back to Alejandro's point, I think when I saw the data, first 7 months of last year, about a 4% decrease, $4.5 billion in terms of impact to our economy, 40,000 jobs. So with all the focus on the domestic economy, as much as maybe the majority of our businesses aren't impacted by inbound, absolutely has an impact on the economy, absolutely has an impact on the image and identity of the United States and of the American traveler. And I think the last piece of data that I saw that was really concerning was, I think the UN WTO had reported that Spain was about to bump the United States off of the second most visited country in the world, which really is, unfortunately embarrassing.
Well, I'm sure the Spain tourism folks, if they're in the audience, are happy about that. But yeah, I mean, it is interesting because the stock market is booming no matter what happens, and that would bode well for U.S. tourism abroad, but maybe not people coming here. Alex, I know you have some opinions on this.
Yes, I do. Actually, it's not just the current administration. There's other factors. The change from 16 to 17 was also attributed to the strong U.S. dollar, and for that period of time. Not the case in 17. In 17, the change from 16 to 17, actually some of these foreign currencies like the euro have appreciated against the U.S. dollar. Even the Mexican peso has appreciated against the U.S. dollar. So the exchange rate, it's not a reason of what happened in the last 12 months. Okay. Certainly, travel ban, the rhetoric of President Trump, the actual restrictions, the visa situation. But I have to say, brand USA is hurt. The brand is hurt. So right now, a lot of associations and conglomerations of travels in the United States, including hotel companies and tourism services, are getting together to try to come up with campaigns like everybody's welcome, like the U.S. is open for everybody. But I have to say, the brand USA in the foreign, because of the rhetoric and the language and the things that we've been hearing from the president, has affected the desire and from some countries to come, and in some cases it's just simply people don't want to deal with a hassle, and so obviously that's taken a toll on what's happening.
Although I got to say, when you walk out into Times Square, you wouldn't know that people are not coming to the U.S. because I don't think I hear an American voice in there. It's amazing.
No, of course, the number of tourists is still huge. The United States was traditionally number one in terms of revenues and number two in terms of international passengers for many, many years. Number two after France, and number three was Spain. As Ninan said, Spain grew 20% and the United States declined anywhere in between 4 to 6 overall, so now went to number 3, which is not so bad either. But certainly there's tremendous potential because the supply has grown, and that's also very important. The supply has grown. Domestic travel in the U.S. is doing very well.
Okay. Well, I don't think Mr. Trump would like walking around saying we're number 3. So that's
or the cause of job loss, right?
Yeah.
Or the job loss, right? Yeah. Anybody else want to react to that in terms of?
Certainly there's no doubt that some of the rhetoric is having an impact on tourism. I mean, the one statistic that I thought was very interesting is that arrivals from the Middle East, even though it's a very small number, are down over 30% to the US, and that's obviously a direct effect of Trump's rhetoric and some of the policies. But what I think somebody mentioned on the panel is that we as an industry have to do more to promote tourism to the United States. And it was very interesting. I was at a presentation 2 weeks ago about Tourism Ireland. They've seen 70% growth from US travelers to Ireland in the last 2 years. But they're still out there marketing the destination. They've got a great plan in place. They're talking to the media. They're talking to their fellow tour operators. And, that's the kind of thing we need in the US. And I'm glad to hear that there are some trade associations that are putting together a plan to try to...
No, they're definitely. No, in fact, we have a video interview with the head of Irish tourism on our website today. And they've done an amazing job. And it just keeps growing. It's a very small amount of numbers, but it's amazing.
Right. So we can certainly do more, and obviously the currency, hopefully, as the euro appreciates, we'll start seeing more inbound tourism. But we really need to do more as an industry to promote the USA as a great, wonderful destination.